As of recent, there's been a bit of a rumbling within the Jojo community about the possibility of Part 6 Stone Ocean finally being adapted into an anime. All this may just stem from one tweet. I'm not sure the validity in this. I've tried to find such a quote, but to no avail. To be fair, research really isn't my forte. Nevertheless, there's been a massive buzz around Stone Ocean being animated. Well, what do I think about the matter? Is Part 6 gonna get animated? The short answer, yes. Jojo is a successful, growing franchise, as proved by hashtag StoneOceanAnimeTrendInflux on Twitter. David Productions would be foolish not to cash in. Though, frankly, that's not what I'm here to primarily discuss. I'd like to elaborate the possibilities of such a decision being put in place. You know, like what's going to change, expectations, what could they add, remove, etc. On face value, if you haven't read Stone Ocean, you'd be like, well, they're just going to strictly adapt with the original source material. And yes, that is correct for the most part, but with Stone Ocean, there's a special case. There's a fair amount that's going to have to change for numerous reasons. Okay, without further ado, allow me to share such examples. Well, let's start with the elephant in the room. For those who have read Part 6, Annasui's gender. Yeah, believe it or not, a significant character's gender was changed. First seen in chapter 29 as a woman, but later changed to a male in chapter 58. Even one of the characters makes a cheeky reference to this decision, so no, Araki did not forget. Why was there such a dramatic change in place? Well, the short answer, nobody knows. Araki has never been on record during interviews about such matters. There are some interesting speculations behind this, which honestly could probably be a video within itself. Comment down below if that video topic interests you at all. Nevertheless, that brings us to a new question. Should this theoretical anime adaptation allow Annasui to stay as a male, or revert back to Araki's initial intentions? Well, a safe guess is that David Productions would probably make Annasui male through and throughout, as that was the technical final decision at the end of the day. Though, a part of me, and I'm sure many others, would have been curious to see otherwise. Oh, and just a side note, while I am recording this after writing the script, through my research I actually stumbled upon a change.org petition to do exactly this. Okay, next change. This is going to be a little bit strange, but we're gonna discuss Spider-Man. And yes, I'm talking about that Spider-Man. Well, he makes a guest star appearance alongside other notable, keyword, copyrighted characters. I won't spoil much, but it's a very brief cameo. But obviously, David Productions is going to have to change quite a fair amount within a specific arc. To solve this issue, they're probably going to have to refer to such characters within a generic context. Here, I'll use an example to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, this is an interesting example. Again, Spider-Man. Well, generic dialogue, be careful you over there, stop running around. I'm going to be the one to shake his hand. It's Spider-Man. I found him first. And then Annasui just rams into the ladder. Pretty funny stuff overall. But few things that we're gonna have to change with this example. Definitely number one, he just flat out says Spider-Man. That can't be the case. He's gonna have to say, for example, it's my favorite hero, I found him first. And maybe, you know, we can keep Spider-Man's gloves red and stuff like that. But aside from that, it's gonna have to be very generic and really subtly allude that this is Spider-Man. Lastly, on changes is perhaps add a bit of fluff, specifically towards the climax, because a common critique that I share among many others is that it's way too abrupt. The reason for this may have to do with the poor sales, especially compared to Part 5 Vento Arreo. Shonen Jump most likely pressured Araki to wrap up the story quickly, which would explain an abrupt climax/ending. And please, don't mistaken me saying they should change the story drastically. That would probably be something Araki would be heavily against, and I wouldn't blame him at all. What I'm suggesting is to add a few extra scenes to the climax and ending to add much more of a smoother transition. A great example is when Kakyoin's monologue/flashback as a child at the end of part 3. And to perhaps someone's surprise, this was not in the original manga. It was completely original to the anime. I feel like if these sort of new scenes are sprinkled in carefully and wisely, then it would certainly and significantly fix some issues regarding to the pacing of the plot. To wrap up this video, I'd like to mention a few things. One, I'm extremely hyped for the new opening if part 6 is adapted, though it would probably make my top 5 best Jojo OPs a tad bit outdated. Well, aside from that, I wonder how the community would respond to an animated Stone Ocean. For example, before part 5 Vento Arreo was animated, there was a fair amount of distaste for it, aside from Japan, some even proclaiming it to be the worst part, but a lot of that conclusion was derived from the god-awful translations available early on. And once the anime came out, a lot of things to that degree were cleared out/fixed. Perhaps a similar thing could occur if we are blessed with the anime of it, as currently Stone Ocean is practically the black sheep of the franchise and definitely deserves another chance. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is there going to be a part 6 anime adaptation? Can it be redeemed, or does it even need to be redeemed in the first place? Please feel free to discuss down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, sub/like. If you hated it, tell me off in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.